what is love. And to here to help me is my boy Jazz Too Funny.
How y'all doing this evening? All right, so like my boy said, it's DJ Delmont presents Music for Love. And before we do anything, let's give a shout out for Corey. Everybody give a round of applause for Corey. That man worked so hard to get this thing together. And although things ain't work out how we wanted it, we're gonna still keep this thing rolling. Because again, before we can talk about love, we gotta find out what love is, right? So before we go around getting any questions, I want to try to introduce yourself real quick.
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Ira.
L.
I'm Lisa.
My name is Colin, like Colin Powell. Hey.
All right, like my boy Corey said, the first question is, what is love? What does love mean to you?
I feel like love is what you make it.
I think love is just being honest with each other and open and understanding and patient.
Well, I agree with what both of them said. It really is what you make it. It's something that's genuine, and just y'all gotta have that bond in that relationship.
I think that love is unconditional. It doesn't come with conditions. A lot of us say we love things until, and then I'm done loving you, right? So I think that true love is unconditional. It requires friendship, and it requires understanding, because a lot of things that are understood don't need to be explained, or at least so you hope, anyway. So.
All right, so me speaking from a standpoint of being married for 20 years, me and my wife got married real young. We was teenagers, right? So we thought we knew what love was, right? Because we 19, 18, we thought we knew what love was. But as we got older into our relationship, we realized, we had a lot of catching up on things we didn't understand. So we heard about the love language. Y'all heard about the love languages? Anybody heard about those four? So once we dive deep into that, as far as what our love languages were, I knew how to love her better, and she knew how to love me better. So I want to ask that question: what is your love language, if you know, and how you like to be loved?
I actually don't have an answer.
Well, I think everyone kind of wants all of the love languages in a sense, but I don't think one love language would keep you like tied to that relationship. I think in a sense you need kind of all of them to keep you committed to that relationship mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Right, a good combination of all of them.
Yeah.
I agree with what he said. I don't really have a exact answer for that.
All of them, because what I might lack and you might give, well, someone might provide, right? Like I'm a super independent person, so I need somebody who's love one of their love languages is acts of service. Give me things, but I have to work on my receiving, right? So it's a double edged sword either way, but I need all of them. Okay, my love too big not to get all of them.
Okay, cool. And speaking of just reciprocation and needs, because we all have them, right? One of the things that was a topic big 2 weeks ago, I saw on Instagram talking about traditional men versus modern women, right? Or traditional type relationships where a man is required to be the provider, protector. These are things the world put on them, and it cannot be misconstrued. And how that looks for a woman in that kind of relationship, what the expectations are they supposed to have for the woman? So, what are your opinions on traditional versus 50-50 versus 80-20 versus those things?
I feel like everything should be 50-50 because the burden shouldn't just be on one person. That's how I feel.
I agree with that in a sense because nobody wants to take care of a whole adult, and we are living in different times. But I guess it depends on the person and what that person expects from the other person. So it's like, if I'm doing this, then if I need you to do this, then is this possible for you to do this? If you can't, then let me know and I'll do it, and then we can figure out where you can assist in some type of way. Because I don't think it's just 50-50 financially, it's 50-50 across the board as far as, but if I'm giving 100%, I'm expecting 100% back. So it's like, even if I'm doing this, pick up somewhere else. Feel what I'm saying? If I'm paying the bills, buy the groceries.
Right.
You know, if I'm doing this, do that. And I think the relationship will work better that way, because if one person ain't doing no job, then that person's gonna feel inadequate.
Right.
And if once you feel inadequate, you start feeling resentment, then problems start.
Now, I would love to know from a woman's point of view, right?
Okay.
Right? Because again, most men don't mind.
So I agree with what Iris said with like the 50-50 thing, but my grandma, she raised me and my sister, so I'm very independent. I don't depend on nobody. I don't care if I'm in a relationship with a female, if I'm in a relationship with a male. None of that matters to me. I'm like I appreciate the stuff that you do, but I'm gonna still make sure that I get it done by myself on my own. And I mean, if we're in a relationship and somebody is slacking, of course, you know, you're gonna pick up that slack, but don't start being a leech. I'm not going for none of that. But yeah, I am a very independent person. So yeah.
All right. So to piggyback on the the providing, the cultivating, and the protecting, some days I might not have 50 for you. Some days I only will have 10. So I need you to give me that other 90. So I think that's where proper partnership comes into play, communication, and just advocacy to get your unit that we should be across the finish line. So even if we not walking today, I might be dragging today, but we still moving, right? So I just think that communication within what you need per day, per month, per hour is important, because like I said, some days I might not have the 50-50 to give you. I only got 25 today, so what are the other 75 for me today? And if you don't have it, can we just meet in the middle and just be chill, do nothing? That's fine too. So yeah.
I would like to answer that question because a whole lot of y'all are going to probably think, which way? My thought process is different. I do believe in traditional. I do believe, due to the fact that if I'm out there working like 2 or 3 jobs, like I have a stay-at-home mother, my wife, um, she take care of the kids. Every time I call her, I be like, hey, babe, I need you to do this and this and this for my DJing business, or I need you to do this and this and this. She on point. So, hey, house clean, everything. So we'll come down to like finance. I get what people say 50-50, but if your wife or your spouse is handling everything at home and handling with the kids, handling everything, then I'm okay going 100% with all the bills as long as everything at home is taken care of. So that's
And I
me.
think it's too, what you just said is still considered 50-50 in the sense, because again, she's holding down the household while you going out there and doing what you're doing. So it's technically it's still 50-50. It's just different work being done on both ends. But the moment that you slip on your end and you're not bringing in your 50, but she's still bringing her 50, then it don't equal 100. Right? So you got to make sure you pull in your weight just like she pulling her weight, and that's how you equal 100. So I heard somebody say something about expectations. Do you believe expectations should be set before a serious relationship start, or that's something you can work on towards while you're in a relationship? As far as expectations, like what do you want from that person? What do you expect from that person?
I believe all of that should be discussed in the, I guess, the courting, as you know, us hanging together, as we getting to know each other, and we have conversations. I believe those questions should be asked before, like, uh, what do you expect from me, as far as if me and you were to go forward? What do you expect from me? Do you expect me to take you on more dates? Do you expect me to buy you gifts? Do you expect me to give, a lot of my time to you? Therefore, I can either say, okay, I can do this, or I can't do this because of this. And then you can choose to go forward after that. Therefore, we're not wasting no time. And I'm not sitting here trying to compete with whatever I think your expectations are. Because then it becomes, all right, now I'm doing this, and you ain't really showing me anything. And it just starts with problems after that. And then it's like, you never even told me what your expectations were. I just assumed. And I believe assumptions is what mess up a lot of people's connections and situationships, or whatever relationships they're in. It just, those assumptions mess everything up. And without the communication and all that in the beginning, you're just kind of slowly failing in a sense.
I agree with what he said. Like when you first meet that person, you form that bond, you learn more about them, they learn more about you, so that way y'all know what each other needs and what y'all expect from each other. And communication does play a big part in that. So
And just piggybacking off of those two, yeah, that's something. Those expectations should be laid out from the beginning, and sometimes it's harder to do. Well, not really. I guess it really has something to do with your people picking skills. But uh, sometimes if I have an expectation, sometimes they're not voiced. Like I automatically have an expectation, so of course I'm going to expect you to do that. But most people love others based on how they want love to be received to themselves or given back to themselves. So it's like, okay, well, I know how you love because you be doing all this X, Y, and Z for me. So you must want a version of that. So really, it's just about what's nonverbal context clues. Just paying attention to your person. Yeah.
Hey, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Ayane. I'm 25. I've recently moved to the Newport News area. I'm a model, a nail artist, and a spoken word artist.
Nice to meet you. All right, so I want to talk about identity, right, in regards to being in a relationship and how important it is for you to have your own. Because I feel like you can't be nothing to nobody, being nothing to yourself. I think sometimes you get so wrapped into somebody else, right, you lose yourself. So, how important is your identity in regards to in a relationship?
Your identity is of the utmost importance in anything because when you're stepping into a relationship, you don't want to start to develop yourself through somebody else's identity. That way, you're only hanging out with their friends, you're only following that interest. If things go left, where are you left with? So often, I think more so as women, we find ourselves pouring into our partners a little more as far as like the nurturing side. We tend to lose ourselves a little more. We forget about our own passions, especially when you get to the point where you're having kids and you're bringing up that mother role, you're in that wife role, you can often lose yourself in that. So knowing where your passions are, where your focuses are, you should have that set up before you're moving into a relationship.
I agree with that, and I would also say that stay true to yourself, be who you are, because once you change yourself, then it's like you start hating a person for because now you don't feel like yourself, and then it's like, well, dang man, I done did all this. I'm a different person. Unless it's for the good. If you change yourself for the good, and it's because of that person, then that's a blessing in your life. But if you're just changing yourself, if you don't know if you lose who you are in the relationship for the negative, then it's time to reevaluate and see where the relationship is going. Because if if you're lost in that sense, and you're falling towards whatever it is that's bringing you down, then it's like you don't need to be in there no more. But stay true to yourself, be who you are up front, and it shouldn't be no issues. That person could stay to deal with you or not deal with you.
I agree with what both of them said. Um, I feel like you are who you are, and your significant other or whoever should appreciate you for who you are. If you're changing yourself, don't let it be like in a negative way. Make sure it's positive. You don't want to change because of this is what that person wants. Just be who you are, and if they don't love you for who you are, then that's not your person. You just gotta find somebody else.
I second the motion. No, identity is in a relationship is important just because what fun is it to lose yourself after you've already found yourself again from losing yourself before from the last mother? You know what I'm saying? So, uh, once you do find yourself, especially as an individual, it's important to still have individuality within a relationship. Like, please have your own life. Please understand that just because my work schedule says I'm gonna get off at 5:30, I'm not getting off at 5:30 every day. So, can you chill till 7 for me? You know what I mean? Like little things like that, because in my identity, I'm very career driven, all the things. And so if you're not as busy as me, cultivating your own life, creating your own goals, focusing on yourself, then you're going to get washed up in my stuff. And now I'm having to apologize for just being great. Ouch. So identity is very important because you need your own niche in your own career, and you need it also within a relationship. And then somehow, hopefully, you guys come together, and it's just great. You know, you're a drop together, but together you're a wave.